Thank you, Chris. We are back live at the Goshen County Fair. Happy to be here doing live reports this week from the fair office. We're actually in the Rendezvous Center here in the brand room is where we're at technically.
Correct.
And so it's nice to be here. We have a handful of kids to talk to this afternoon. So first we have our guest of the day, and we'll let you introduce yourself to our listeners.
I'm Briggs Erskine, and I'm 12.
Briggs Erskine.
Yes.
You're 12, and what club are you with?
Lingual Aggies,
Okay. And what grade are you in?
6th grade.
You'll be going into 6th grade?
Going into 7th grade.
Going
Going
into
in
7th.
seventh.
Okay.
Okay. So who's your leader?
Rebecca Frederick.
Okay. What are the projects you're taking this year?
A hydraulic arm, a rocket, and a steer.
Okay. Let's talk about the hydraulic arm.
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
Did you do that at state level?
Ooh.
Didn't you have a contest?
I just entered in 4-H.
Oh, you just entered.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So tell us about it. What does it do and how's it work?
I made it from a dead tree that my dad chopped down, and it uses syringes as hydraulics.
Oh,
And,
yeah?
Yeah. You can move it around. There's a claw on it to pick up stuff, and a magnet. It's really cool.
So I assume they interviewed you. The judge interviewed you at the 4-H building the other day.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
What was some of the questions he asked you, or she or he?
They asked me how I built it, how I got the idea to build it, and
Just general questions.
yeah,
How
Yeah.
did you get the idea to build it?
off of YouTube.
Off of YouTube.
It was a cardboard version.
Okay. Was
Oh,
it
yeah.
difficult to put together?
Yeah, it was pretty difficult.
Do you know roughly how long it took you?
A couple weeks probably.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. So let's talk about your steers, which I bet your grandpa kind of likes to have you show a steer, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So has he taught you anything?
My dad teaches me about how to.
That's better than probably Grandpa Erskine. That's a good idea. So tell us about your steer. How much does it weigh and when do you weigh? You haven't brought it in yet, have you?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the weigh-in.
So what I was going to mention, Taylor, most of the animals don't come in till tomorrow, like their breeding shows are now, but tomorrow they'll bring in like their fat market classes, like their steers and their sheep and the pigs. And so, how's the steer? Did you have any trouble leading it?
He leads all right, but I think he's gonna do pretty good in beef, like markets.
What's he weigh?
1,400.
Oh, he's a big one. Be pretty good steaks, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you name your steer?
McRib.
McGriff.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, are you going to show in showmanship?
Yes, and yeah.
So tell us what you do to prepare for showmanship.
I lead him around, have my dad act like the judge and pet him, feel around him.
So what's one rule about you and the judge? When the judge moves around, what do you do?
Make it so that he can see my steer. Always just make it so they always can see my steer.
Okay, that's good. You always want to keep that in front of the judge so he can see.
Yeah.
How's your steer with a show stick? Does he set up pretty good?
Yeah, he does.
On all fours?
Yeah.
Tell the audience what you have to do, what you want your steer, how you want him placed in showmanship.
You want the 2 front feet so that they're lined up with each other, and then the back feet, one just a little bit in front of the other one.
Okay? So
What do you plan to wear? You have to present yourself a certain way in
Yes.
showmanship, right?
I'm gonna wear a nice pair of jeans and just a Western button-up shirt.
Okay.
So are you kind of ready for his questions? What might be some of the questions you ask? One will be how much your steer probably weighs.
Yes,
Probably what do you feed your steer?
19 pounds of corn and 3 pounds of COB.
Okay, what's COB?
Corn, oats, and barley.
He's going to
He
be
is
ready,
prepared,
I think.
yeah.
He's ready to roll. So, well, we wish you good luck. Do you have any other questions for him, Taylor?
Do you plan to show the same things next year, the same projects?
Yeah,
Do you wanna-
I want to do a rocket again and a steer.
Oh,
Okay.
the rocket.
Yeah.
What kind of rocket did you make?
It was 3D printed. Yeah.
3D printed?
Yes.
Oh, pretty good.
Explain that more for people
Yeah.
who might not know what that is.
It prints in 3D pretty much, and it takes a long time. It all prints about a paper thick at a time.
Do you have to have a special program on your computer to do
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Oh, we had a hard time converting STL to G code, so it would work for my 3D printer.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot that goes into that.
Yeah.
He's talking way above my head. I may know about steers, but I don't know anything about this, Taylor.
About STL codes.
Yeah, them STL codes, they get to me.
So you'll have to basically document everything you did in your record book, right?
Yeah.
How's the record book coming?
Oh, I haven't started yet.
We got to get through
Oh,
fair
man.
first.
Yeah.
You better get started because you'll be up all night.
Yeah. The day before you have to turn them in.
Yep. I've heard that story many, many
From
times.
experience.
So, yes. Well, I hope you do well and
Thank you.
place well.
Thank you.
You probably still sell that steer, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, good. And the reason is so you can buy another one for next year. Correct?
Yeah,
Yeah. And the feed is real high price now, so it takes a lot to feed these steers out, doesn't it? Where do you get your product locally?
I get the COB from ZNW, and then the corn from my grandpa.
Yeah. That grandpa is maybe okay sometimes.
Sounds
huh?
like it.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for coming in and talking to us. So if we can get somebody else who's next in the line?
Thanks for joining us. You can
Yep.
hand that to me.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, young man.
Briggs Erskine, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
We had the lights go out here for a second.
Yeah.
We're going to be in the dark on YouTube. Okay, whoever's next, step up.
Yep. Don't be bashful. We have to go move right along here.
I got to see you the other day. How are you?
Good.
Tell us your name.
I'm Paisley Erskine.
So you're Briggs's sister. You
Yes.
can hold that close to your mouth so they can hear you, okay? Tell us what project you have.
I have a steer, and I did,
You were in the fashion review, right?
yes, and food and nutrition.
Okay, so you have 3 different projects.
Yes.
Let's talk about the fashion review. What did you make for Fabric and Fashion?
I made a stuffed animal, and I had an apron.
Okay.
So you did construction then, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So Grandma had to watch her. Your grandma got to watch her last night. You modeled, didn't you?
Yes.
How did it go?
I did pretty good.
Yeah. Were you a little nervous?
Yeah.
A little bit. Was this your first year in Fabric and Fashion?
Yes.
So with the stuffed animal, that's construction, like he just said, you have to do an interview with the judge to talk about how you made it, right?
Yes.
And then the other piece of that is modeling. So with your apron, you also made that, but then you get to model that, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's good. So what kind of steer do you have?
Almost 100% Angus.
Angus? So will you be in the same class? Well, no, you may be in the same class as your brother, right?
I don't.
Are you a junior?
Yes.
How
Yeah.
old are you?
I'm 9.
9, so she's younger.
So this is your first year.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how you like it so far?
It's been really fun.
That's good. So do you walk your steer
Yeah.
every day? Or just
Pretty
once?
much.
Pretty much, yeah. Because they need a little exercise, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gonna do showmanship?
Uh-huh.
Good. So she'll do good, I bet. So
Let's talk food and nutrition. What project did you submit for that?
I had some cookies, granola, and brownies.
Okay, so you were able to make all of those and then you interviewed on each recipe that you made, right?
Yep.
How did it go?
I don't really know.
Did they ask some tough questions?
Not really.
Not too bad?
so
What-
did they taste your product?
Yes.
Oh, the judge did. The judge still walking around, so it must have been okay, huh?
What types of questions do you remember? Like one question, for example, that they asked you?
She asked me what would I change if I wanted to change
If you
anything in my
could.
food.
What did you say?
Well, in the granola, I'd probably change the cranberries.
Change the cranberries?
Yeah.
Why? Would you use something else?
No, I'd probably just leave it without any cranberries.
Oh, you liked it better without.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
So did you have to practice a lot on that cooking? Did you make your dad fat with all that testing of that food?
No.
No. So I bet you had to practice a lot with the recipes, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Well, I hope you get to go to State Fair with food and nutrition.
I hope I do.
I do too.
You'll find out later, it sounds like,
Yes.
how you did. Okay.
Yes, I don't think that they open the doors for the 4-H building. You should get the results then, I think, Taylor. And that's August 3rd. They open from 3 to 8 p.m.
Tomorrow.
The 4-H building. So people should be able to go and look at the projects. There's some neat projects in there. I kind of peeked through the window this morning, and there's some nice stuff over there. So a lot of woodworking and a lot of dresses and those type of things, sewing projects.
Woodworking, lots of different things.
Yeah. So, any other questions you have for it, Taylor?
Great job on everything and good luck.
And thanks.
Still yet to go this week. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It was a pleasure having you. So now we'll have another young lady, I think, up next.
And I'll go through a few of our sponsors
Yeah,
here.
while we're waiting for her to
While
come
we're
up.
in between, we want to thank, in part, Platte Valley Bank, Meyer Seed, Pioneer Seed, Double D Real Estate, Pieper and Marsh Family Dentistry, J.G. Elliott, Leith Heads Appliance Center, Z&W Mill, and Goshen Vet Clinic. All of these sponsors help make this possible. We have fair reports all week long live. And don't forget that you can follow our streaming, our video streaming on YouTube. You'll want to subscribe to KGOS Sports. So we have our next guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners.
I'm Emma Erskine, and I'm 14 years old.
Are you another sister?
Yes.
We have the whole family
Man,
here.
we have the family here. That's good.
Hold it up nice and close and go ahead and tell us what projects you're involved in.
I'm doing food and nutrition, photography, and market go.
Okay, we haven't talked photography yet.
No.
So explain how that works.
Well, I use a camera to take my pictures. I do it all year round, so that when fair time comes, I have a nice selection to take from. You want to get nice, clear pictures, not blurry, and I used matting instead of a frame this year. You have backing and matting, so it's sort of like a frame, but it looks a little nicer in my opinion.
And what kind of camera do you use?
Lumix.
And how did the interview go with the judge?
Pretty good. They liked the pictures.
Yeah. Do you remember what types of questions they asked?
They asked what you like about the picture, what you don't like about the picture, if you change something, those sorts of questions.
So, what type of picture did you bring in? A picture of what?
I had 3 pictures. One was of my sister with an inner tube. She was going to go sledding with it.
Oh, fun.
It's fun.
This sister over here?
Yes, Paisley.
And what were the other pictures?
One was of a bus going down a road bringing kids home from school. And the last one was just an outdoor scene, some trees and the sky.
Cool.
That's cool.
For food and nutrition, what did you submit?
I had cowboy cookies and almond brittle.
So
Yum.
what are cowboy cookies?
They're kind of like oatmeal cookies, the kind I made, so that's pretty much what they are.
You think it turned out well?
Yeah, they turned out pretty good. They're tasty.
Yeah.
So I hope you get to go to State Fair. It's
Yeah.
always a lot of competition to go to State Fair in foods and nutrition. So if you do go to State Fair, do you have to make another new batch?
I had a lot of cookies from that batch, but I may make another one just to see.
Make it fresher?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And you're with the Lingo Aggies Club?
Yes.
Who's your leader?
Uh,
Do you have a cooking leader?
well, it's not a cookie. Rebecca Frederick.
Oh, helps out on all of it. Huh?
She's just in charge of the 4-H club.
Yep, that's good. And it's a community club. Do you have quite a few members in that community club?
Yeah.
So in that community club, you have all types of projects, I assume, like...
Yeah, there's horses, and some people do chickens, and then
Yeah.
goats, steers, and then the static projects like photography and Briggs's robotic stuff.
Okay. Are you an officer in the club?
No.
Not yet.
No.
You're going to try, though, aren't you?
Maybe.
You're pressuring her. What
Who-
grade will you be in?
8th.
Eighth. Who's your president of your Lingo Aggies Club? Do you know?
No.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
You said you also have a goat to show.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Well, it's a boar goat, and it's my first year in the project, so I don't expect to do super well because...
You weigh them in tomorrow, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it pretty good size?
She's kind of tiny, but, well, it's only my first year, so I don't
Yeah.
expect too much.
So the market goats, that's kind of a new project, the boar goats, and you see a lot of that now because of the different type of people we have, the culture in our area, in Colorado area. A lot of those do sell in the Colorado area. So a lot of market goats are raised. What kind do you have? Do you know, or is it
It's a boar goat.
a boar goat and
Yeah.
white and brown? Or?
No, she's black with a little white spot on her leg.
Okay, that's good. So tell us how you feed those boar goats.
I give them a mixture of corn and pellets. I just measure it with with a cup that I use, and I give it out to them. I actually have 2 goats, but the other one will not be going to fair.
Fair. And it's good to have a partner, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They get
Keeps
along.
them company.
Yep, they're kind of social, so that's good. Well, thank you. We appreciate. Do you have any other questions, Taylor, for this young lady?
Good luck showing tomorrow.
Thank
well,
you.
you're weighing in tomorrow.
Weighing in, and then when is the goat show? I forgot here. You have weigh in
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
yeah.
Yeah, so if you're wondering and you'd like to come and watch that, that's in the Grass Show Ring, Market Goat Show, 4 p.m. on Wednesday. And tomorrow, the Market Goats weigh in and do the carcass ultrasound from 1 to 2 p.m. So that's what we have on this schedule for the goats.
Yeah. So if we'd have somebody else, and while
Thank
we're
you.
waiting for somebody, I'd like to mention the Ag Hall, Taylor, and the commercial exhibits. Monday, August 2nd, which is today, the open class, no perishable entries are due from 7 a.m. to noon, so that's more or less over with. But tomorrow, Wednesday, we have open class perishable entries from 7 to noon. So that'll be Ag Hall exhibits that people will enjoy, and they're mostly local.
That's right.
So if you have questions about that, open your fair book and look in the open class market.
All the info is right there.
You bet.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Cadence McDonald, and I am 8, and my leader is Gusta.
Very good. What club?
The Southeast Cowpokes.
Southeast Cowpokes.
Oh, yeah.
What projects do you have?
I'm gonna be showing a chicken, and I did a static project, a tie-dye dress.
Oh, tie-dye dress, yeah.
How'd you tie-dye it?
I put it out in a long triangle, and I went like this.
There's different patterns and ways to do
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
So that's your static project, you said?
Yep.
Okay. And there is a static exhibit auction that happens later in the week. Will you be auctioning your project off? Or are you keeping it?
I'm gonna be keeping
You
it
might wanna
for
wear it.
the first day of school.
Awesome. Yeah,
Oh.
I think you should keep that too.
So what grade you in?
I'm going into 3rd.
3rd grade. Good. This young lady's pretty knowledgeable, isn't she?
She is. And how do you show a chicken?
I am gonna put her on a leash and a harness. Her name is Ninja. She is a buff Orpington.
Poultry showmanship, but it's kind of fun.
Ninja loves being around humans.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she's like, ooh, let's go here.
They're chickens that are people.
Yeah.
People chickens.
Yeah. See, she's a social butterfly. Well, she's a social chicken,
Social
actually.
chicken.
She wouldn't be a butterfly. She's a chicken. huh?
Nope.
Yeah. So that's good. So are you in clover buds then?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And tell us a little about clover buds. That kind of prepares you for 4-H, correct?
Yes. We've been doing a lots of projects, and we've been getting new people throughout the year.
Oh, so they can kind of join any time and just kind of learn about 4-H?
Yeah, they start at clover buds and go up. It just depends on the first year if you go to first year, because it depends when you joined.
Oh, okay.
And the clover bud experience is to basically dip your feet in the water before you become a 4-H member.
Yeah.
And it's younger kids who start out in 4-H. So you're a clover bud, and then you move up.
Uh-huh.
Now, since she's a clover bud, there is a typo on this fair schedule. So if you see that, that means 11:45 a.m. actually, and followed by that, it should be 12:45 a.m. So what's happening first is the 4-H Pocket Pet and Clover Bud show, and that'll be what you're showing your chicken in, correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And that'll be in the grass show ring. And then after that is the 4-H and FFA static exhibit auction at the Frontier Shelter.
Yeah, and that's always good. They raise money for those kids so they can go to college and maybe improve on their next year's project. So that's very interesting, and it's a good idea.
Yeah, so you can choose, like we were asking our guest here if she was going to auction off her item. You can choose whether you want to keep your static exhibit auction item, exhibit item, or if you'd like to auction it off. And so some of those kids do choose to auction off their item, and then they get to have that money for their use. And as you said, they also, a portion of that, Megan has talked about with this before, goes towards college scholarships.
Yeah,
So
and that's
it's
good.
really neat for those kids.
It is really neat, and that's a good way to raise some money.
Do you have anything else you want to share with us?
I do. We're gonna be doing the Fun S'more Festival, and I'm also a scout, so I'm gonna be riding with the scouts.
How fun.
That sounds like it's going to be fun.
We're doing a camp out.
A
Oh,
camp
you
out.
are?
We're having like a tent here, and then hay bales with a fake fire.
With a fake fire.
Oh, I'm glad it's fake.
Yeah.
We didn't want a real fire, would we?
No.
In the fire ban.
We're
That's,
like, we picked each people to bring something.
Nice.
that's good.
Well,
So,
it sounds like you really enjoy what you're doing.
Yes.
And you'll continue to be involved in 4-H, huh?
Yep.
I
Very
think
good.
maybe she ought to go into public speaking.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think she could
does.
be a leader one
Yeah, I
day.
think she could. She does an excellent job.
Thank you for joining us, and good luck in your show. We'll have our next guest step up here. We want to thank our sponsors in part, Farm Girls Boutique, Goshen Vet Clinic, Old Moose Mercantile, Pinnacle Bank, Clark & Associates, North Platte Physical Therapy, Main Street Market, Panhandle Co-op, Torrington Beverage, and Dinklage Feed Yards. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors who help make these fair reports from the Goshen County Fair possible. Our next guest, welcome to you. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Barrett McDonald,
And how old are you?
6.
And I assume you're with the Southeast Club too, are you?
I am.
You're
Right.
also a Clover Bud.
Yes.
Yep.
What grade will you be in?
First grade.
Okay.
First grade, man, he's starting out young. So what's your project this year?
It's a Lego Captain America set, and a goat.
Oh, you do goats too?
This is my first year.
Okay. So are you bringing a goat to show?
I'm gonna borrow one.
Oh,
Borrow
okay.
one.
Okay.
You can do that in the Clover Buds. Huh?
Yes, you can in the clover buds. That's good. That gives them a little experience and
To
shows them
try
how-
out and see if you like it.
Yes.
Now, tell us about the Legos. How did you make that?
How long did it take?
You can tell us that and how
Yeah.
you put it together. Describe how you put it together.
Did you put something together?
I put a bunch of Legos together.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty hard.
Yeah, I bet. So how long did it take you?
Just a few minutes one night, and then, I think just like half an hour another night.
So you kind of had figured out what you wanted to do. What'd you build? Did you build anything?
Do you guys know like Iron Man Hulkbuster's suit?
Yes.
I bet Taylor does. I bet this guy does.
I'll show him.
Yeah,
I'll
show
show
me.
him.
It's
Pictures.
like a Captain America version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So did you have to follow some instructions to put it together?
Yes.
Oh.
I take it you really like Legos.
Yes.
Do you have some other things you've put together?
Yeah, if I still had my Thanos one, put together, I would also show it. It would be kind of funny because it would look like they're punching each other.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? So, well, congratulations, and I hope you continue to do well in these projects. So I bet you're planning on joining 4-H. You have a few years to wait, don't you?
Yeah.
So you'll be in Clover Buds for quite a while, and you'll probably take different projects?
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Yeah, I assume.
Probably different Lego projects.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun.
Are you excited to show the goat too?
Yeah.
Have you been doing anything to get ready to show the goat?
No.
You're just gonna go out there and wing it.
I'm gonna try to show it.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Are there any other animals you're interested in?
Yeah. I would like to do, a chicken, but I want to do, a lamb, but my mom thinks I shouldn't.
Well, moms know best, don't they?
They usually know best, yeah.
I think they do.
When you're older, maybe you can show a lamb. When you get older, I bet she'll let you.
Yeah.
Because they're probably about as big as you are, aren't they?
Well, I can't believe you're only 6 years old. How brave of you to talk to us, and I hope you do really well with your projects this week.
Thank you.
And good luck. Nice having you.
Thanks, Betty. You can hand that to me. And we'll have our next guest come forward. We again want to thank some of our sponsors in part here, EWC, Pine Bluff Sinclair, Dynas Irrigation. We have Ty's Pit Stop, Brown Company, Mike Rafferty State Farm, and Torrington Office Supply. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors who help make these fair reports possible. Welcome. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Rain Colson.
Rain Colson. And how old are you?
I'm 12.
What club are you in?
Bear Creek Guys and Gals.
And what projects do you have?
Market sheep, breeding sheep, photography, and vet science.
So you're getting ready to show. When do you show breeding sheep?
Tonight
Tonight.
at 5 or 6.
What breed?
I'm going to do black faces and rams.
Okay, good. So tell us how you prepare those for show.
We just made sure they were broke and they could walk with someone leading them, and then I can have someone help me with the feet. So they were working on that too. And then we have to make sure they're eating enough so they fill out, and just make sure they keep their muscle. So we have to exercise them and work with them all the time.
Okay. Do you trim them up any? Do you do anything with the wool and stuff?
Yes, we took their winter coats off at the beginning so they wouldn't be too hot, and then closer to the end, before we show, we clip all of it back off again, so you can actually see their muscle tone and everything, their structure.
I
know.
watched some videos the other day of wool being,
Sheared.
yeah, and it's so satisfying to watch all of that come off.
Yeah, and it's good for the sheep themselves because it keeps them cool.
They gain more too.
And they'll gain more weight. So that's interesting. And who's your leader for?
Scott and Dana Yetter.
They do a good job, don't they? That's an enjoyable community club members. Are you an officer?
No, I have not been in it long enough.
Okay, so you've just started.
Yes, this is my second year.
Oh, good. That's good. So you enjoy it?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. See, you also play a little softball?
Yes, up in Cheyenne.
Oh,
That's
how's
White
that
Girl
going?
softball.
How's that going?
Good, we just got back from state.
Did you do well?
Yes, we won the 14s division.
That's
Yay,
good.
Awesome.
Thank
And
you.
she's a busy young lady.
She is. What about your other projects that you have?
In photography, I had 4. I framed all of them except one. My favorite one was probably a tree because of the angle.
Mm-hmm.
Because you take pictures that aren't really like someone would want to take a picture of.
More unique options.
Yeah, it's a different angle or something that you see. I have a flower, some cows, and then I have a ocean picture
Very cool.
at my grandma's lake.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And what type of camera do you use?
A Canon.
So
And will you keep these keep them for yourself, or will you auction them off?
I'm going to auction one of my flower ones off and then keep the rest.
Okay. And that'll be in the static exhibit auction, like we were
Yes.
talking about.
So if you auction that off and it goes to state, can you still take it to state?
Yes, and then after that, you can give it back to them, or I can just make another copy and buy the frame again and give it to them.
Oh, good.
Makes sense.
So that works out real well. So you're not cheated out on exhibiting at state fair. That's excellent. So
And you showed tonight, you said,
Yes.
and that's around 4 p.m.
It goes market goats, or no, breeding goats, and then market sheep.
Okay.
Breeding sheep.
Well, best of luck to you, and thanks for joining us on the radio still. You have
Thank
a busy
you.
day ahead of you. So we'll let you go prepare for your show.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for joining
and good
us.
luck. Good luck.
you.
Will you be in showmanship?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
We'll have any other guests we have come up. So again, that show tonight, if you're interested in watching that, that's the breeding meat goat, breeding sheep showmanship, breeding sheep and swine shows, all in the grass show ring tonight at 4 p.m.
Yes, that starts early at 4, and I assume they'll start with showmanship and then go into the classes after that. Taylor
Looks like class first to me.
yes,
And
they
then
might.
showmanship.
Yeah, that is correct. They will do probably the classes and then showmanship.
Our next guest is here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Hayes Colson, and I am in. I have 4 sheep, and a goat, and I'm in Leathercraft.
You're in Leathercraft. Tell us more about Leathercraft.
So, in Leathercraft, you'll have to tool the leather, and then you can make a design out of it.
What kind of design did you choose?
I did a matching set of earrings and a bracelet.
Very cool.
So was that fun?
Yeah.
So who helps you with your leather work?
Scott.
Scott Yetter?
Yep.
His father was very good in leather crafts years ago, and so he passed it on to his son, Scott. Scott does an excellent job with leather. They're very, very efficient. You enjoy that one, huh?
Yep.
Do you have any other members that do leather in your club?
Cole Trigimba and Cooper Ty.
That's good. That's good.
And you'll find out what ribbon you received later on?
Yep.
Okay. How long did it take you to make those?
2 days.
2 days?
Hmm.
Wow.
He's pretty fast.
How did you have the idea to make earrings and a bracelet?
I just had to figure out something to do.
Yeah, and it just came to mind?
Yep.
Will you keep those or auction them off?
I'm gonna auction the earrings off.
Here you go, ladies. Come find those earrings and bracelet, or men for their lady, and you can buy those at the auction coming up. What other projects do we need to talk about?
Sheep and goats.
Okay.
Are you there market sheep or breeding sheep?
Market.
Market. Black face or white face?
Black faces.
And you haven't weighed them yet. Are they pretty heavy? Think they'll make market weight?
Yeah.
And then they'll divide them up into classes, so you'll show like from 100 to 110 will show in one class maybe, or et cetera, et cetera. So you have different classes, so if people want to watch, that's always exciting thing to watch. How many sheep did you say you had?
4.
You're gonna be busy. You gonna do showmanship?
Yes.
Tell us about sheep showmanship. What do you all have to do?
So the judge judges you on how you show the sheep and how you look.
And how the sheep looks too.
Yeah.
Also. So you have to clean their ears, I assume, and make sure they're real clean.
Mm-hmm.
Be well groomed, and
Yep.
that goes for you too. What you're wearing, how you present yourself.
Do you know what you're wearing?
I'm gonna wear a button up and a pair of jeans and hey dudes.
Hey
Dudes. Okay. Them Hey Dudes are comfy. The judge will probably like that too.
We
So-
each have a pair of Hey Dudes. We have the same pair, in fact.
And they're pretty neat. So, are you ready for questions? If the judge asks you some questions,
Yes.
you're all prepared.
Mhm.
So, how old are you again?
I'm 11.
11. So you'll be in the younger class to show. So that's good. Anything else you want to tell us?
Nope.
No?
I have a question for you. Do you think you'll show all the same things and do the same projects next year, or will you change it
Probably
up?
not sheep.
Probably not sheep.
What's wrong with sheep? Are they stubborn? A
Yeah.
little bit, aren't they? Do you have them trained to lead pretty good?
Yeah, kind of.
Do they brace?
Yeah.
Tell us what bracing is.
It's whenever you push back on the sheep, they should push back on you.
And why do you do that?
To make their muscle pop.
And so the judge can feel that muscle, huh?
Yep.
And look at that muscle. He's got this down. I think he'll do well. So thanks for coming and talking to us, and good luck, and I hope you get to go to State Fair. Will you
Okay.
go to State Fair if you get an opportunity?
No.
A little too young yet, huh?
Well, we went last year,
Okay.
but we just don't have time with baseball and softball.
Oh,
Yeah.
makes sense.
That makes sense. These kids are busy, and that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So who do we have next?
She is heading on over.
Again, we'd like to remind you, Tuesday, August 3rd, the 4-H building will be open from 3 to 8. And then Wednesday from 9 to 8. And you can see on the door the schedule for the rest of the week. So it's pretty much going to be open after Tuesday every day.
Go ahead and introduce yourself to us.
I'm Devamar Shaneman,
How old are you?
10.
And what club are you with?
Bear Creek Guys and Gals, I think.
Okay. What projects do you have?
I have a bunch of sheep and 4 chickens and 2 paintings and a drawing of a bunny.
Whew.
She was busy.
She was busy this summer.
What did you paint?
I did pour paint and I just used 2 bottles of paint, like the ketchup bottles,
Oh,
and then I poured them in cups, and then with my drawing I used like a really good shading type of marker called like the alcohol markers. I don't know their actual name,
Okay.
but I know what they're usually called.
Yeah. And what did you draw?
I drew a bunny.
Oh, yeah, you said that. So you'll have all 3 of those pieces of artwork on display out here.
Mhm.
That's so exciting. So you like to do artwork then?
Yeah.
Do you take art in school?
Yeah.
What grade will you be in?
4th.
4th. Let's talk about, you said sheep also.
Mhm.
How have you prepared to show your sheep?
By working with out at my aunt and uncle's place.
So they've helped you?
Because that's pretty much where my sheep are. Then where my chickens are in Scottsbluff, Nebraska.
Oh, okay. So what about your chickens? How many chickens will you show?
4.
4 of them.
so what kind are they? Do you know what kind they are?
Yeah, they're black sex links. That's exactly.
Good. So are you going to show them in Showmanship?
I think so.
Can you tell us how you're preparing for Showmanship and what you do in Showmanship with the chicken?
Basically, how do you show the chicken?
Yes.
From what my mom has told me, that you pretty much have to show them facing you if you don't show cage. I'll be show caging and not show caging every once in a while. But from what else I know, I forgot.
That's okay. That's okay. So, how do you show your sheep?
I show my sheep by working with them before, and if I tap them on the side to get them moving or to make them brace, and I shove my knee into them to make their legs go backward, their back legs work. I've been working on setting number 2 more because I'm really good at setting number 1, and number 2 the sheep started to get out of my grip, so because I have to I bend over the sheep behind the sheep's neck.
Oh, okay.
And you're pretty little. It's probably hard to control, huh? What's your favorite project out of everything we've talked about?
Probably the sheep because I've done it more.
Okay.
Because I'm brand new to the chicken showing.
So what, do you have a least favorite yet?
No.
You'll see after this week, huh?
Yeah. So how many sheep do you have? You said.
I forgot because I have a lot in the barn. I know I have like 5 lambs.
Yeah.
And 1 yearling, or 2, because I have a male ram that got me Grand Champion Ram last year.
And that's exciting.
Yeah. So you produce your own sheep, right? Or do you buy them?
I think we produce our own sheep.
That's good. That's a good way to learn, huh? So we'll see how you do. I hope you do well.
Okay.
And make sure you know how many sheep you're going to show. Okay?
She's going to go count them now.
Yeah, you're going to have to go count them. Make sure you know how many sheep you have. So
Good luck to you.
And
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. It's been interesting to talk to you, young lady. Continue up the good work.
Okay.
Do we have anyone else? We get everyone? I think that is it.
Well, this has been fun, Taylor. Well, I kind of learned some things today, didn't you?
I did. I especially enjoy hearing from the younger ones. You know, they're like sponges. They soak everything up.
And they did very well.
They
They're very
did.
knowledgeable. That means they have good volunteers. In this 4-H and FFA program, you have a lot of volunteers to help these young people prepare for life skills and also about their animals, and a lot of education about their animals. So it's excellent program.
We had the fabric and fashion style review last night, so congratulations to all of those participants who were involved in that. And we'll go over again what you can expect later today. At 4 p.m. we have the breeding meat goat, breeding sheep showmanship, breeding sheep and swine shows, all in the grass show ring. No animals are allowed in the barns before 6 a.m. Tuesday, and that's excluding horses and breeding stock. Tomorrow morning in the swine barn, they'll be doing from 8 to 10 a.m. the market swine weigh-in and carcass ultrasound. 10 to noon will be the market lamb weigh-in and carcass ultrasound. So those are the next few activities coming up here. Lots going on. Be sure and grab a schedule if you haven't already. They're available at lots of different businesses around town. They have some out here at the fairgrounds. We also have some at the radio station, and that includes the 4-H and FFA schedule as well as all of the other events going on during Fair Week. We'll thank a few of our sponsors in part here before we go, and that's Platte Valley Bank, Meyer Seed and Pioneer Seed, Double D Real Estate, Pieper and Marsh Family Dentistry, J.G. Elliott, Leith Heads Appliance Center, Z&W Mill, and Goshen Vet Clinic. And as you were saying earlier, tomorrow they'll also have the 4-H building visiting hours for you, and that kicks off at 3 p.m. tomorrow.
And also, Taylor, I'd like to mention, each one of these projects has a superintendent. Just mention a few if I could, and then we'll try to hit some more maybe tomorrow and the next day. Like your beef and dairy cattle, Rustin Roth is in charge. In other words, he kind of makes sure everything goes well and helps with the show schedule and the weigh-ins and breaking those classes up into weights, like there'll be class 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., and they go by weight. Also, Scott and Dana Yetter are the sheep superintendents, and they do an excellent job, and they have the same program or the same responsibility, get those weigh-ins and ultrasounds, etc. Shane Victorin with swine. Also, Linda McLean is working, and Dawn Gilchrist. They're working very hard today with the horse show. We'll try to have some of those young people on in the near future, in the next few days. So that's just a few of them, and those people are volunteers and very essential to this FFA and 4-H program and the fair.
That's right. We do appreciate them and all of the volunteers, and again, all of our sponsors that help make these reports possible. We're excited to be out here at the Goshen County Fair, and we'll chat with you tomorrow in the 10 o'clock hour. You can tune in to 98.3 Kerm FM and then also catch the video streaming of all of these kids talking with us on our YouTube channel, and that's KGOS Sports. You can subscribe to that. For my grandpa Ron Kaufman, this is Taylor Bartle. We'll send it back to Chris Jenkins.